Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to end of day update. And you can see Bitcoin, we're making nice profits. You can see here we shorted. You see this indicator, red lines are resistance, green lines are support lines or buy lines. So you can see here from resistance to buy, you can see almost 3.5%. And then we bounce from buy lines to again resistance line. Very, very easy trades on Bitcoin. And from here we got almost 3.5%. And now again we are in the buy zone. So from here we dumped and now we are again in the buy zone. So easily 3% moves 3 times, 9%, you can just do that so easily. And now we're again in the buy zone. From here, we should be expecting a bounce anytime, and then we should be going above to at minimum this neutral zone. So it's almost 3% again. We are looking for profits here. Okay, you can see even on Nasdaq 100, easy trades here. You can see today we came from sell zone. I told my subscribers we are very oversold and overbought. And you can see I said this is where you should be looking to take profits and go short option, and you can see easy 1.2%, and then from here again, we bounced. You can see we easily bounced to the neutral zone, 0.5% also. So you can see easy trades happening across the globe. Very nice information. You can see even Dow Jones came to the neutral line. S&P 500 also came from sell zone to the neutral line and even closer to the buy zone. So very easy trades here throughout. And if you want more information on this, subscribe to my channel. I share pre-market videos and it's only for subscribers, and they know these levels every day before the market opens. So it's very helpful, and one trade you can make more money for the whole subscription for the whole year. All right, so Bitcoin is short term in the buy zone. If I go to daily chart, let's get rid of this indicator and let's do an analysis. And you can see Bitcoin uh, down almost. This is live market, 3.5% down. And you can see if you watch my videos regularly, I was telling you yesterday, we got the sell dot on 13th of November. And if I add another indicator, let's get PPO here as well, and then you can see here also we have green line below red line. So there is bearish pressure on Bitcoin. I'm not going to be bullish on Bitcoin until I see a green dot and until I see a crossover of green line above red line, and also I have these bottom red lines here. And one other thing which I want to show you, I was telling other subscribers, you can see this gap fill here. The gap is filled now. If I go to 1 hour chart, I was showing you this, guys. There was 1 hour, we had a gap up on Monday, and I left this green line. Those who watched my yesterday's video, you can see I was saying this was going to be filled. So it's filled now, so you can delete it. Now let's go back to daily chart. Now there's another gap here, okay? There's another gap around 34,165. Same thing, you can go to 1 hour chart. And if I zoom out, you can see this thing happened on this day, exactly Friday, 27th of October. We gap up. We never came to fill this gap. So I think that's our next target. And you can see short term, you see this light green lines in the background on RSI. This is very, very overbought. Okay. You want to buy when it's red, that background is red, not when the background is green. So this is where you should be looking to take profits. And right now there's going to be more dump coming. And I think at minimum we're looking for 34,165, that gap fill. And if that doesn't hold, there's another gap here all the way down here around 29,760. So around 30K, there's another gap here. And also that's where this trend line is. So that's the worst case, but we're not going to go that far for now. Let's just hold it here. And let's see if we can go there. That's going to be a good opportunity. And from where we are now, I think that gap is around 7.5%. So that can happen any day. It can happen in 1 or 2 days, and it can happen in a couple of days. And this trend line is what you need to watch. But for now, I'm bearish on Bitcoin. Also, this resistance around 42K, 40K. That's also not easy to break yet. We need some pull off, like some cool down here. Buy it here. Buyers, we want to see buyers are there, and then it's going to try for end of year rally. All right. And let's quickly go to live market on Bitcoin. Same thing here. That resistance on live market is around here, around 39 to 42K resistance. So again, same thing here, looking for a pullback, and then we're going to try to attempt later on. All right. And let's quickly look at Ethereum, same thing. Ethereum also had a gap up, and if I go to 1 hour chart, you can see same thing here. This gap was created, and we filled that gap on 1 hour candle at 10 a.m. Eastern today. So congratulations to everybody who took this trade. So you can delete that, and now we have another gap here, massive gap around 1850. That's our next target. So looking for pullback, and then we're going to bounce. And also you can see here also I have a red dot. I got it here, and also let's go to live market on Ethereum. Same thing here. You can see I got a red dot here on 14th of November, and green line went below red line. So there's bearish pressure on Ethereum as well, and I'm looking for this whole area, which is a support box, Ethereum to drop further. So from where we are now, we can easily go around 5-6%, and this is the area where you want to buy. Then I think Ethereum is going to try break this resistance around 2000 to try to go to another resistance around 2500. Okay, so that's going to be after that. But for now, that all indicators on crypto are showing dumps are coming, so be careful. And let's quickly look at other coins. Polkadot, same thing here. You can see red dot sell signal here on 14th of November, green line below red line. CRO coin almost down 11%, massive, massive, massive move. You can see we had a indicator of warning sign on this date on 12th of November, and then it's going down. Atom also same thing, going down, red dot, green line below red line. And helium, same thing here. We got a red dot here, and then Luna also 8% down, red dot here on 16th of November. Now it's just going down. So crypto is crashing. Crypto coins, Bitcoin is down 3%. Time to be careful. It still keep going down. This is live market. You can see it keeps going down. And also the other thing was you can see price was going higher, RSI was going lower, so there's divergence. So higher high on price and RSI making lower high. So that means momentum is going, even PPO is going lower high. Okay, so that was other indicator that we got to be careful. And I told everybody in this channel, and I hope you took advantage and you took profits. All right, congratulations. And if you did that, put a comment in the video. I'll be very happy to know that. All right, guys. So that's all with crypto. Let's go to traditional market. US 100 cooling down, NVIDIA earnings down not that much. NVIDIA did good earnings. You can see here, surprise of almost 12%, revenue up, and then earnings are also 20% almost up. So this is already priced in, guys. So market is not looking for what is done. Market is looking for future forward guidance. So this was already priced in because you can see this gap up when this happened, one gap up here on earnings, and then this earnings also we had a gap up and then consolidated. So market already knows about this. So market is not excited. So market wants to know what's future. Okay, and also you can see short term we are very, very overbought. You can see light green lines at the background, although PPO is not showing um, look, actually there is divergence as well. We made a new high. PPO, you can see divergence on PPO, even RSI. There's a you can see prices making higher high, RSI is making lower high. So that means a pullback is coming. And also, if I go to 1 minute chart, and you can see we have these gaps. Okay, these gap. Actually, let's go to daily chart. On 1 minute chart, you can see this gap around 470. This was filled after earnings, but it's pre-market. So I think what's going to happen, we could go tomorrow from here, we can go almost 5%, 6%. These two gaps are my target. Those will be good area to buy NVIDIA if you are like NVIDIA. There's also a gap here, 423. I don't know if we're going to go all the way down because that's going to be almost 15% down. So I don't know. Let's see. But looks like you can see pre-market 1 hour after earnings, they fill this gap and now they bounce. So I think most likely tomorrow we're going to come back, fill these gaps. So be careful. So that's going to be bearish for Nasdaq 100. And you can see on 1 hour chart, I was telling subscribers what's happening. Same thing. Prices making, this is live market, prices making higher high, and you can see what's happening on RSI. RSI is making lower high, PPO is making lower high. So that these are some indicators which we can be careful. So I took all my profits yesterday. I sold all my shares end of day yesterday, and I'm waiting for a pullback. So where are we going now? So let's go to triple Qs to figure out where we're going. So this is triple Qs. Actually, there is a gap here which is filled. So actually, I'm going to delete this. Oh, sorry, not gap. So we had a gap down actually. Let me get rid of trading regular hours, extended hours. You can see we had a gap down. So there's a gap left now. So I'm going to leave it as yellow line. So that will be filled at some point, but there is another bigger gap here now. So you can see this big gap. Are we going to come all the way down to fill this gap around 370, 377, 378 before we go higher? This is what I really hope happens because that's going to be very healthy. And even from today's close, if we come all the way down, that's almost 2.6%. So that can happen in the next couple of days. Usually, if I go to seasonality chart, I can show you SPX seasonality chart, seasonality chart. Actually, I'm going to delete that as so you can see here. If you go to images on Google, just type it and you can see what's happening in November. You can see this dip in November. So today is 21st of November. Usually this is average of last 20 years. We could get this sharp decline, which can be easily 2%. So if 2% on S&P 500, that could be more than 2% on Nasdaq. So this could be the seasonality we're looking for, and NVDA earnings could be the catalyst for this. All right. So if you get this pullback, you can see what happened. This is your buying opportunity. Okay, this dip which we will get this week is a buying opportunity, and then after that we get a massive pump throughout now till January. All right, so 2 months of massive pump. So look to buy this dip, and this is buyable dip. So that's what I'm looking for. And you can even on live market, I mean cash market, you can see same thing, divergence. We had a higher high with lower momentum on RSI, and same thing on PPO. You can see same thing, lower momentum on PPO. So uh, yeah, so this is my best case, and I'm looking to buy on a fill of this pullback. All right, and same thing on S&P 500. And let's go to SPY, which is the cash index. So my preference on SPY is to fill this gap. Now again, SPY also had a gap down. You can see this gap down. SPY is pretty strong, but I think my best case would be if we fill this gap, and from where we are now, let's see if we can go that far. Let's see from where we are now to that gap is around 2.7%. I'm not sure if we're going to go all the way down to fill this gap, or we're going to just not go all the way down, just bounce from here. I don't know, we'll see. But my preference would be to fill this gap at 440 so we can go higher. There are other gaps, maybe we'll do it later. But you should be looking to buy this dip. Okay, so the message is be prepared to buy this dip, and that's going to be a once in a lifetime opportunity before we have a massive pump to new all-time highs. All right, and let's keep going to Dow Jones DIA ETF. So I think same concept. I'm looking for a pullback across the board, and there are gaps up after CPI, looking for this pullback before we go higher. Even IWM is a bit stronger, so you can see I was looking for pullback. Now if other indexes go lower, this could even break this support and we can get pulled back all the way down here and then we bounce. All right, so be mindful of all these things. So these are indices, gold, and gold is bouncing. So you can see came nicely on this support, now bouncing. Nothing is bearish about this chart. Everything is looking good. Now if we make a new high, we will have some divergences on gold, so we'll see when that happens. Gold can make new high on divergence, so you got to be careful. And silver, I draw this trend line, so it's right on this trend line. It's trying to break a couple of days, not able to break it. So we'll see if it can do it finally later on. Natural gas broke this trend line. Okay, now I was trying to draw this trend line in a different way. Let's see if we can draw it now today. We can maybe do it like that, just to be just give natural gas another chance. Let's see. So let's keep it like that, and let's see if it can hold here. Okay, this is the line in the sand. This is the worst case scenario. Actually, we can do slightly here like this. Okay, and yeah, there you go. So right on the trend line, and let's see if natural gas can hold it. Okay, if they can hold it, this is the worst case scenario. It needs to bounce right now, right here, right now. And if it not, it's making lower highs. If it goes below, then you got to be very careful. Okay, this is the last chance for natural gas. Crude oil, lower highs, lower lows. This is came to resistance. It did not break above this previous high. So if it cannot cross above 479.74, 774, you got to be careful. Crude oil can go and break. Now coming back, it's going to come back on this resistance support line. If this breaks, the other support is 65. All right, so nothing is too bullish about crude oil. Dollar finding some bid. Um, Again, it's making lower highs, lower lows. It could still come back and go here. This is a massive support here. Also looks like there is a little bit of support here. So where it is right now, you can see a little bit of support here. So a little bit of confluence of support. So maybe it's trying to bounce and take this as an advantage to bounce. Let's see if it can bounce here. And now this green thing became red because this became a big resistance. So we're going to make this red, this area for dollar to find a big resistance here. So let's just do it like that. All right. Bitcoin already covered. And VIX is just going lower. It can still bounce, but it's just following this path. It can still bounce. If it bounce, it's going to make a let's see. I think my preference will be since I think there's going to be a little bit of dip take a little bounce and then go lower. Okay, that's my preference on VIX. Okay, Toronto Stock Exchange down, gaps here, another gap here. My preference will be to fill this gap and then bounce. Hang Seng Index, which is China, now finally holding this another support line. So it broke out of this trend line, so we can delete this now because it's making another trend line now. So it's just holding this support. So look to buy on the tag of this trend line. Bond market, right on the resistance. So you have to wait for, you can see this resistance downward trend line broke out, backtest broken out. You have to wait for this to break. It's right on the resistance area. This is where you should be looking to take profits if you bought it here. Commodities, copper bouncing, nothing changed, everything is good. Palladium trying its hard, so came in from the support and now bouncing. Next resistance is here around 1137. Wheat bouncing right in the buy box. This is where you should be looking to buy wheat, right in the buy box area. Corn also struggling. Now it's near resistance. So let's see if it can break this resistance. That's going to be next good buying opportunity. Soya beans um, came to the buy box. Nothing is different now. Just keep going higher like expected. Sugar, looking for this back test of this trend line. Let's see if we get that. If we get that, that's going to be a good buying opportunity. All right, so let's quickly look at stocks. I already covered NVDA. Let's quickly look at other stocks. Let's look at Tesla. Tesla was up 2%, but again, if we get some weakness on Nasdaq and S&P 500, then this gap will be best case to buy, and that will be my target to buy around this gap fill of 224. Apple also very extended background. You can see very overbought, and you got to be careful. Let's see if Apple can come all the way down, fill this gap, and then bounce. That's my preference. Netflix, again, you can see green lines, green background, very overbought. So it's almost doing its job. So let's see if we can get some cool down because it's going on a gap up. So let's see if we can do this. All right, this is what I'm expecting. All indices. So Microsoft gap down. Are we going to go all the way down, fill this gap, and then bounce? We will see. Google, you can see all these big stocks. They are some reason they had a gap up on CPI day, and they have gaps to fill. So we got to be careful. We have to make a decision based on these gaps, and we don't usually stocks don't go straight up. All right, so that's not very healthy because if they go straight up, they come down straight down as well. Meta, Facebook, Facebook did not have any gap, but any pullback will be healthy. This whole so I'm going to move this here. This whole area is now nice support here. So if you get a little bit of pullback, this is why you should be looking to buy Meta, and a pullback in this area could be good. That's what I'm looking for. Amazon was down 1.5%. There is a gap all the way down. I don't know if you're going to come all the way down, which will be like from here. It's going to be almost 7%. I don't know, but let's see. But looking for a little bit of weakness and then go higher. All right, on Amazon as well. And snowflakes, looking for gaps to fill. Also, there is this massive gap up which happened. I don't know if we're going to fill all. Maybe on earnings day will come down and fill this gap. Let's see. AMD also a little bit weak, but again, same story. I'm looking for these gaps to fill before we can go higher or even on AMD. Let's see if we can get that. All right, Newmont Mine, gold miners, gap up, and you can see gap again happen. This gap is filled. Let's go to 1 hour chart. This gap is filled. You can see this gap was here. This is filled. Now we had a gap up. So there are two gaps left now. There's one gap here, one gap there. Let's see if we're going to just fill this gap and then bounce, or we're going to come all the way down and fill the gap. I don't know. Gold miners, again, gap up. Let's see if this is first target, and then the second target will be next gap up. Let's quickly look at sectors. XLK, looking for filling this gap before we bounce. Same story I'm looking for everywhere. Energy sector, you can see very nicely bouncing, nothing changed. Let's go to 1 hour chart. Did we fill this gap? We had a gap down, still did not fill this gap. So we're going to leave it like that. So let's see if from here, are we going to go a little bit weaker here? If all indices are going, there's a gap here around 82.97, and then we're going to go higher. Healthcare stock looking good. No gaps today, so looking nice. Just looking for higher. Also, there's a gap here, so it is possible we could come down, fill this gap, and then bounce too. All right. Utility sector, same thing here. There's a gap here. So are we going to come all the way down and then go higher? Let's see. Industrial sector also, there are gaps, multiple gaps everywhere. So are we going to come all the way down and then go higher? Let's see. Real estate sector, same thing here, massive gap down. Financial sector also looking nice, but now also it's opening a little bit of gaps here, and also there's this trend line. Are we going to bounce from here, or are we going to go all the way down? Let's see. We don't know yet. KRE, again, weakness as you can see here, looking for this gap fill before we can go higher. Shopify still looking strong. Let's see if we're gonna go all the way down. This is a massive gap. Earnings, not gap, earnings CPI gap. Let's see how weak we get. And I think that's about it, guys. Okay, so yeah, overall looking for a pullback across the board on Nasdaq, S&P 500, and it doesn't need to be that bad of a pullback. This could be support here, but let's see if we're going to get that pullback soon and then bounce, or we're going to go fill this gap first and then come back down. All right, guys. Hopefully you learned a lot today, and please hit the like button on your way out, and please share with your friends and family. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.